What is up? It is the LTC from East Tennessee. I'm Jacob Kelly Lewis.
Cody, your host, most.
Cody's got the jerseys going on. He's the jersey man now. He's got
I'm
that
all in on
Rusty
the jerseys.
Is that a Rusty jersey? That is a Rusty Wallace jersey.
Rusty Wallace Racing, baby.
Rusty Wallace Racing experience. You haven't experienced racing until you do Rusty's experience.
This episode of LTC is brought to you in part by Rusty Wallace Racing Experience.
They
hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored.
Exactly. 110%. Cody, how you been, man?
Pretty good. I'm Cody, your host with the most. I didn't even introduce myself. I did actually while I was bouncing. What's good, Jesse?
Hey, Jesse, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining. Man, let me tell you, COVID sucks ass. We can now talk about that together. COVID is the worst.
We can relate.
We can relate.
Hey, keep talking. I got to do something considering the weekend.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, COVID sucks. I'm just coming off the tail end of it. That's why I've been kind of quiet the past couple of weeks. Oh, he's throwing on that old school Texas hat. What is that? The Texas 500? Is that what it used to be called?
It was the inaugural Texas 500 ran at Texas International Raceway. Back in 1997. This is an original hat that set up in the warehouse behind Texas Motor Speedway for the last, 16 years?
That's an awesome piece of memorabilia, honestly.
And it was free. Like, that's the most incredible part. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Pulled some strings back in the day, back when I was on the road doing my NASCAR thing. And this guy was really intrigued by the fact that there were 3 men standing in the Texas Motor Speedway infield wearing nothing but clothes out of 1980. And he was like, hey, boys, I got some hats you might like.
I wonder who those other guys were. That's my question. I wonder who that could be.
I'll give you get 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count.
Okay, obviously Cody. Dale and Jace. All right. Figured it out. Damn, that was quick. Oh man. I've had COVID for the past little bit. Just got my smell back today.
Figured it out. Oh gosh. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're good. No, you're fine. And it is what it is. Haven't felt too terrible. But I called Cody, I think, sometime this week, and I was like, hey man, I'm positive, which meant that
I was like, you're positive about what?
I was like, no, I'm positive. I am positive. I have COVID-19. I have coronavirus. And here we are. I'm on the tail end of it now. So hopefully we'll be out of this.
Welcome to the club.
Dude, Cody, you told me, you were like, man, it really sucks. Like it's like the worst. And I was like, yeah, man, whatever. And then I got it. And then like day 3, I was like, you know what? Cody was fucking right. This does suck. This just sucks more than any. This is like Dyson suckage, which I assume is good.
It's expensive. Yes.
It's expensive. Yeah. I'm like that Dyson. What's that ball? They got that vacuum. It's on that ball you just roll around.
Yeah.
That's how much this sucks. Sucks real hard.
I'll tell you, my experience with COVID lasted 3 weeks. There was no tail end of it for me. Like, it's just, and it stuck with me mentally. It's just every day I wake up and like, there's a podcast I love. Shout out Bart. False. Jamie, can you fact check that? Jamie said false. Shout out Barstool Sports one good time. Pardon my take. Big Cat. It's one of my favorite personalities. He has this thing, and this was how I introduced Summer to Barstool. Because Summer, it took her a while to hop on the Barstool wagon. Barstool's edgy and controversial. So if you don't know Barstool, you're probably like, ugh, Barstool, right? Yeah, but 100%. Big Cat, he's really big on the fact that he had COVID and he beat COVID. So he refers to himself as a COVID survivor. And it's so cringy. He does it on purpose. But someone will be like, these masks are hard to breathe in. And he'll be like, well, as a COVID survivor, let me tell you. So
We're both COVID
COVID
survivors.
survivor. Yeah. You know, COVID sucks. Fuck COVID.
Fuck COVID. Fuck it 100%. I've been taking vitamin C, D3, and zinc. And it seemed to fight it off pretty well. Like I was actually like my dad was like, "Hey, this is what I took," and it worked. And you know, me and him have the same genes, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll try this shit out." And it actually
Wrangler
worked pretty well.
or
Huh?
Levi? Wrangler or Levi?
Oh, definitely Wrangler.
Okay.
Yeah, Wrangler's old school. You got to go Wrangler.
Okay. That's fine. You just said you and your dad have the same genes, so I was trying to figure out what brand. I knew you had no idea what I was talking about.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Cody, we just got done with Texas. I know that you look forward to Texas every time that we go.
All I gotta say is, Texas Motor Speedway is the reason why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Shout out George Strait.
Honestly, Tennessee's a better state.
It is. Tennessee is the better Texas.
Tennessee
Weather's
is.
better. It's a lot cooler. You know, Texas for all these years, they've been like, well, we have Whataburger. And for all these years, Texas has been like, we got Buc-ee's. Well, guess what, pals? We got Whataburger in Tennessee now. And we have the soon-to-be world's largest Buc-ee's coming to Sevierville, Tennessee.
No
So,
fucking shit. We're getting
Texas,
a Buc-ee's?
yeah, Texas ain't got nothing on us other than their hopes and dreams of seceding from the United States.
That's exactly right. Texas, you suck.
Yeah. All you did for us was give us, that's Rattlesnake is the only plus side to Texas. Their football is terrible. Cowboys are terrible. Texas is trying to join the SEC. They're in for a rude awakening. But I will say though, Texas A&M did beat Alabama. So if you're a Tennessee fan, you might actually appreciate Texas a little bit more. I'm not a Tennessee fan, so I don't care.
I'm not either. So it does not matter to me.
Texas, I mean, unbiased opinion, Texas still sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I watched that Tennessee game last night, a little bit of it, just to kind of see what was going on, and they lost.
Did you see what happened at the end of the game?
I did not. What happened?
Oh, buddy. So there were 54 seconds left in the game. Okay.
Okay.
And the entire student section decided to shower Ole Miss in all of their water bottles, cans of beer, mustard bottles. And it put a large delay on the game, and they actually had to clear the student section. The entire field was covered in trash. And someone hit Lane Kiffin, the coach of Ole Miss. And Jacob, I know you're not a big football guy, so you're not going to understand until I tell you this. Lane Kiffin coached Tennessee for a year. He was the savior of Tennessee, and then he dipped out.
Yep. Okay, I do know who that is.
So someone threw a golf ball and hit Lane Kiffin. A yellow golf ball.
Get fucked, honestly.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Lane Kiffin is the type of guy, he ate it up. So, like, as he was leaving the stadium after Ole Miss whooped on Tennessee a little bit, he's, like, waving to the fans. And he took his hat and he threw his hat at a fan and walked out.
Shout out Lane Kiffin one good time for being a good sport.
Hell of a man, dude. His Twitter, if you don't follow Lane Kiffin on Twitter, you're missing out on so much.
The thing is, though, why desecrate your own stadium?
And that's one thing I don't understand. Welcome to the Left Turn Cool college football podcast. Here's my issue. And being a student at a university, I went to an ETSU game last weekend. We played the Citadel. It's a Southern Conference rival. We were 5-0 entering the day. We left 6-0, undefeated, ranked 10 in the nation. Good day. But historically, the student sections at universities are on the visitor side, which is just a recipe for disaster. Let's be honest. Right.
Yeah.
So we were behind the Citadel, and of course, nonstop heckling. I called the guy the leader of the student section because he was on his phone and he was going through the roster of the college we were playing against, and he was calling out the players by name. He'd be like, "John, what are you doing, John? Open your eyes." And then they figured out the name of the defensive coordinator. His name was Orlando. And he would be trying to huddle up his defense because their bench was right in front of us. And he's yelling, "Orlando, they're not listening to you, Orlando." And he'd be like, look at number 4, he's on his phone. And the defensive coordinator, he did his best to hold it together. But it's just moral of the story, having the student section behind the visiting bench is probably not a good idea for a passionate fan base such as the Vols. Because when it comes down to it, I hate Tennessee. I hate the Vols. Despise them, right?
Yeah.
Sue me. I'm a Hokie, like through and through. But when you have a passionate fan base like you have on Rocky Top, it's bound to happen.
Oh, yeah. Look how much shit they go through every year.
Now, years ago, in basketball, Ole Miss at home showered Tennessee players in trash at a basketball game.
Just showered them.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, it is what it is. But I will also say the first year that ETSU's football program was back, because they killed the program from 2003 to 2016. And we played Tennessee our inaugural season. And as we were leaving the field, we get decimated, absolutely pummeled by Tennessee. Okay. Yeah. It's not like we came in and like just won and shocked the world. They threw trash at ETSU players because we were so trash. Like, that's what it was metaphorical for.
Do you think the Tennessee Vols fans are kind of like Chase Elliott fans?
I mean, so I think
except for Chase Elliott doesn't win.
So our pal, our fellow co-host Dalton Good, he made that reference on Twitter last night.
Oh, did he really?
He did, yeah. So I mean that's fair. As a Chase Elliott fan, that's fair.
I mean, as you know, Chase Elliott fans do have something to be proud of, though. Unlike the Vols.
It feels like 98.
Yeah, like I can't tell you how many times. Like, I'm not a big football guy. I can't tell you how many times I fucking heard that. It's like, man, this is going to be like just like the 98 season. I'm like, do you realize that we are almost 20 years away from that season?
It's over 20 years, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's 21 now. So 2018 would have been 20. So
that's like 23, dog.
23 years. We're 23 years away from it. Like, I don't sit here and I'm not going to sit here and fucking just like hang on to one championship. It's like, why not? I don't understand that. I just don't get that.
I mean, now listen, Dallas Cowboy fans are the same way. They'll be like, we got 5 championships. It's like, when's your last one come? Like 95. Let's chill. Yeah. You weren't even alive.
It's like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I just realized that we have a Tennessee Vol fan and a Dallas Cowboys fan on the show.
Yeah. What is Parv?
Parv's Dolphins. Parv's a Dolphins fan.
That's it right there. Just like the Bears fans, still living in 1986, right?
That's exactly right. It's like the fridge is retired. Who gives a fuck?
Right. So I do feel like if it's within the last 10 years, I think you have bragging rights. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Speaking of.
Oh.
Talk about the shittiest fucking day. Listen to this. What's up, boys?
Well, hey,
I wake up to get my day started with all of my homework, but I needed to go to the grocery store. Hop in my fucking car, my starter's dead. There's start of the day. Don't get my homework done. Don't get anything I need from the store. So then my dad has to come down so we can try to work on it. Well, my car's stuck in a fucking ditch at this parking lot of my apartment. So we have to tow it out. Then we've got
a ditch.
The parking situation. I'll show you a picture here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like in a fucking hole. So it's in a hole. So then we can't get the truck to pull the car out because the truck doesn't have enough fucking ass to it. So then we're trying to do everything we can, get the fucking car going. Then we waited in advance. So I'm sitting in advance watching this fucking race today, waiting on someone to see if it's my starter, battery, what the fuck is it? Yeah. Then I just got done with my homework. So the only bright thing of my day was the Cowboys. Go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys?
So were you
Fuck today. Fuck today so much. I'm not even done with my homework still.
Oh, I was literally.
It was just the start of my day, and I was like, fuck everything. I was
literally just trash talking Dallas fans. Because we were talking about Tennessee. We were talking about Tennessee from last night. And then I was talking about Texas.
What happened?
And then it came out that Dallas fans are a lot like Tennessee fans with the whole holding on to 98 thing. Yeah.
They're garbage.
So, I
literally said it last night.
I thought that's why you hopped in. Because I was like,
no, I finally finished up one assignment, so I was like, all right, I'll hop in for a little bit. So no, I wasn't listening, but no, Dallas fans fucking suck. So do Tennessee fans. Fuck them both. And I love both.
Yeah, that's how far we got into the show so far. We haven't even gotten into NASCAR. We were talking college football.
Well, you can talk all Xfinity because I barely watched it yesterday. I got to about maybe 60 so left. Maybe.
See, I was on the opposite side of that.
Well, the Xfinity Series race, I thought once again is the best race of the weekend. I mean, Daniel Hemrick couldn't pull it off again. This is his ninth or 10th time. Second place finish. I felt pretty good about my pick too.
I've been on the show in like a month. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Picks? What are picks?
So, I would like to raise my I'm only going to be controversial and a conspirator one time on this show.
All right.
I'm going to follow Dale Tanhart's lead on this one. I don't think that John was necessarily running a legal car.
Thank you. Bob didn't even tweet about it.
No, he passed inspection.
He did? Oh, he passed inspection. John was on another spectrum of speed.
So okay, let's talk about the race itself. I'll give my anecdote on the race. I'm never excited when we come to Texas. Texas is by far my least favorite track to watch year in and year out. I just find it to be boring. The resin, the PJ1, whatever they want to lay down each year is different. Doesn't change the boringness of the race. At the start of the season, I had a moment where I was like, you know what? I'm going to reflect. And this happened after the dirt race when everybody was trash talking Bristol dirt. I was like, that hurts my soul. I don't like people dissing my track, my home track. So I'm not going to diss anybody else's home track anymore. Unless I can visit the track in person and see if there's more exciting racing than what we see in the broadcast. I went to the Texas All-Star race this year, and guess what? It's still boring. I watched all 3 series run, and it was still just a boring race. It wasn't fun. Texas is a sleeper, so I skipped the first half of the Xfinity Texas race. Hop in the final stage. I mean, it was exciting racing by Texas standard for sure. I thought that Daniel Hemrick was definitely the guy to beat. Harrison Burton looked really great as well. I mean, Joe Gibbs, all in all today, just absolutely, that picture is incredibly clear. What happened to it?
Nothing. I fixed it. I know I fixed it. It was bothering me. It was too pixelated.
So Texas and Joe Gibbs seem to like hold hands very well. Joe Gibbs has something figured out at Texas,
Hey, can I cut you off?
Yeah.
I'm going to listen, but I'm going to take myself out because I'm going to go get some videos from today, like from the cup race. So I'm going to listen, but I'll just like cancel out. I'll be back.
Go for it. Adios, amigo. So anyway, I mean, it's a beautiful track, but also at the same time, if you've ever been to any SMI 1.5 track, it looks the exact same. Jacob, you've been to Atlanta now, so you understand. So it literally just, it feels like you're at Atlanta, but you're not. Yeah. But like I said, I was going to stop hating on races until I'd visit them. And Texas was a track that I was able to walk away and say, you know what? I still hate this track. So it's boring.
This weekend was rare. It was a rare Texas weekend because there was
Which
a lot
isn't
of
anything that we should ever have to say, right? It's like, well, finally we got something exciting. But was the racing exciting, or were the inconveniently timed cautions exciting?
It was more of the cautions. I'm going to come out and I'll get to the Cup Series in a minute, but I have the same feeling about as you do with the Xfinity race as with the Cup race.
Mm-hmm.
I have the same feeling, and I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I thought Hemrick had the car to beat. I just think he let it get away, and Gragson and Allgaier, Cindric, Dinger. I mean, those guys that you expect to run good. But someone who surprised the shit out of me yesterday was actually Michael Annett in the 1 car. He was up there contending,
which was a last minute like sub into his own ride.
Yep.
Josh Berry was there on standby. Had he needed to be.
Yep. And I mean, obviously Michael's I mean, this is his now. It's his last full time season, so he had something to prove. He went out there and he got the one car up there, got a ninth place finish. But I think the biggest surprise was Harrison Burton, honestly, because he's not really been there this year.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's weird to say that, and then followed up with the fact that Harrison Burton is going to the Cup.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not like he's had an extraordinary season and he's going to the Cup Series now. But I mean, I enjoyed the race. I mean, I obviously ate my words. I'll come out and say it. I don't really care. I come out and said that I wasn't really all in on John Hunter. I think he's going to be a fantastic Truck Series driver. He's going to the Truck Series.
It was so funny too, because this all happened within the span of less than a day, right?
Yeah, like I come out and said it in a group message. I said I don't really think John Hunter's all that good, honestly, and then he comes out and fucking dominates. And not only he dominate, he come from the back a couple of times. And
so that was the 9th or the 10th win for that 54 car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so John Hunter will be the driver piloting it for the car championship.
Mm-hmm.
So he's running at Phoenix in that car.
Yeah.
So I mean, John Hunter most likely, which I'm holding true to my truck champion, but John Hunter could very well find himself winning 2 championships in 3 weeks.
I mean, he absolutely surprised me. He made me eat my words. I'll come out and say it right here. I kept waiting for, is everyone going to be on together again? Ever going to be on together? No. Yeah, I'll come out and eat my words right now. I kept waiting for that, like, fuck you, Jacob text, but it never came. And I was like, you know what? I appreciate that. So you know what? I appreciate that from my fellow LTC members for letting me buy with that one, because I was trashing them hard. I trashed them probably 8 out of 10 on a scale.
Yeah, 8.3, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, listen, coming from front row, dropping down, I think was the best decision that John could have made. Obviously, he went from, and whether he had a choice or not, I'm sure he had other offers. Maybe not in the Cup, but I'm sure he had other offers to drive elsewhere. I mean, he's clearly a talented kid. But I think that him going to KBM was the best move that he could have made for his career. And I think him signing on that extension to drive again in that Ford truck next year, absolutely best decision. Will John ever come up to the Cup? And I mean, if he does come up through the Cup, he'll end up with JGR if he stays on course. But if he doesn't, and he stays the permanent driver of that number 4 car for the rest of his, or 4 truck for the rest of his career, I mean, Ron Hornaday Jr. found a lot of success in the trucks when he couldn't find it anywhere else. And I mean, when you talk about the greatest of all time in the truck series, if you don't name Ron Hornaday Jr., then you are just oblivious to the truck series.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think JHN is definitely, if he stays in the trucks, he is our generation's Hornaday.
And I would if I was him, honestly. Why not? I mean, you get a good schedule out of it. You're not having, I mean, you know, you're not racing as many races a year. You're still making money, and you're in you're probably in the best equipment in the truck series as far as that goes. I mean, look at the people who went to the Cup and it didn't work out, and they dropped the truck and found success. Like you said, Ron Hornaday Jr., that's one of them. Mike Skinner, Todd Bodine. I mean, a lot of these guys that dropped down into the truck series and ran rail. So I don't see why John Hunter doesn't stay in the truck.
And it's not a knock at anybody's abilities. I mean, okay, if you were to put, I'm trying to think of somebody. Obviously, if you put Kyle Larson on a bicycle, he's going to find victory lane. If you were to put Denny down in the trucks, Denny might not have as much success down there, right? Yeah. The same way, if you put a guy up in a bigger series, he just might not have enough success. Look at Elliott Sadler. He is the poster child for it. AJ Allmendinger, poster child for it, which now with him winning in the Cup kind of proves that he has just grown into his prime. But, you know, you have guys who spent their entire careers in the Cup, right? Never had much. Elliott Sadler just did not have much success in the Cup. None.
He had like 3 wins.
I'll forever wonder why he was on the cover of NASCAR 08. I just don't get it. I'll never understand it. But, you know, that's trivial. That, you know, but he dropped down to the Xfinity series and he was absolutely just lights out right here. Perfect example, right? And look what happened.
how many drivers come to the Cup Series and don't find that much success? I mean,
Right.
I'm going to call out a few right now that are in the Cup Series. Chase Briscoe, his first season has not been the best. It's been very subpar. Of course, Stewart-Haas isn't on their usual kind of rampage, I guess is the word that I would use. Tyler Reddick, 2-time Xfinity Series champion. Christopher Bell, that dude had 7 wins in one season in the Xfinity Series.
Now, I will say, I think I can make excuses for 2 of them. Well, maybe I can. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to defend all 3 that you just named because this will be fun.
Go for it.
Chase Briscoe, he's driving for Stewart-Haas. Eric Almirola is the only guy who's found success this season for Stewart-Haas. Not 1, not 2, but 3 times. Eric Almirola has won 3 times this season.
Yep.
Which is mind-blowing. Obviously, 2 of them are not official point races, but I mean, he's found victory lane 3 times. Now, Chase Briscoe is a hell of a driver. He proved that. He had a dominant season last year in the Xfinity Series, but I think you can chalk up his lack of success to the struggles within Stewart-Haas. Chris Bell, I think that, I mean, obviously he started off pretty strong week 2. He has a win, but new team, he's finding his footing. And so he started decent, fell off entirely, but the last few weeks he's been pretty consistent. Now Reddick has had a hell of a season. I have a little fun stat for you when it comes to Tyler Reddick. He has 17 top 10s this season. His teammate Austin Dillon only has 8.
17. You know, and I think the days of Jeff Gordon coming in and just being
lights out,
forced to be reckoned with from the beginning is gone. I mean,
I think a lot of people forget. A lot of newcomer fans, sorry to cut you off there, but a lot of newcomer fans that are like kind of new to the sport maybe feel that way about Kyle Larson, but Larson has ran full time since 2014.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, even Cindric's getting ready to hop in the 2 ride next year. People are like, hey, you know, Cindric's going to be an absolute badass. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, Cindric's not going to do nothing next year. I'm calling it.
I think Cindric has solidified your premonition based on how he's ran this season in the Cup.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's going to do okay, but he's not going to be lights out, like you say, you know, like a Jeff Gordon or Jimmy Johnson or Ryan Newman. Hell, a lot of people forget Ryan Newman. When he came into the sport, he was absolutely phenomenal. And then it was just like it dropped off, and then he never did really come back.
Rocket Man. I mean, he was the Rocket Man. So, you know, he has 51 career poles.
And in one season, he won like 8 races.
Yeah. That was his championship year.
Yeah.
Well, all championship year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just kind of weird. But like, I mean, you look at people like Justin Allgaier, who has, you know, he's been out there for a long time. And this season, he's had a spectacular season. I mean, plenty of top 10s, plenty of top 5s. I mean, you look at Harrison Burton, he's going to be moving up next year. But like you said, JHN, it was 100% the best career decision he could have made. He didn't just drop down from 1 series, he dropped 2 and went to the Truck Series.
You bring up Justin Allgaier. Do you know that he is the 2008 ARCA champion?
I do, actually, yeah.
So you know how he's the ARCA champion?
I don't know how.
So let me knowledge you a little bit. He was 3rd in points entering that race. And Scott Speed and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky got into Scott Speed and ended his day early.
Was it a Kawicki situation? Was it kind of like that?
So Ricky ends up sending Scott into the wall and ends his championship hopes. So Scott's like, okay, let me end his hopes too. So he took Ricky out, and Justin Allgaier coasted to a championship.
And a lot of people right now that are new to NASCAR don't remember the days when Justin Allgaier like raced for Penske. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this guy's been out here for a few. I mean, he was racing
that 12 Verizon car.
Yeah, like he's been out there for a while, you know. And I mean, he raced the 31 car for a while, and then he found a ride at Junior. I think after Reagan Smith left. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Allgaier's been out there for a bit, and I mean, look, case in point, he's made a career out of the Xfinity Series. I don't really see Allgaier ever going to the Cup. I think
No, and I think that ship has sailed.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's no shame in it. Own it. I mean, if you can go down there and run that and dominate it, if me, Cody, am a NASCAR driver, and I am just really good in this series, and I am making money to pay my bills, and I'm getting to do what I love with one of the most friendly schedules in NASCAR. Why would I leave like a JRM to go and drive for Rick Ware? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And also, too, I mean, think about this. This is the sucky part about Junior Motorsports. Junior Motorsports is pretty much like that. It's a Hendrick Xfinity Series team. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. JRM is college for when you graduate, you go and you work for Hendrick.
Yeah. I mean, you go for Hendrick. But the thing is there's not really right now, specifically right now, there's not really many rides that you could possibly go to as a Hendrick car. I mean, Hendrick doesn't really have a satellite team. Hendrick's Hendrick. It'll probably soon be Jeff Gordon. I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening. There's not really any places for you to go. So why not? I mean, why not just ride out at JRM?
I would love to end my career racing for Dale Jr. I mean, I would happily retire.
I mean,
and I would invite Dale to my retirement party.
I mean, look at Hemrick. I do got a weird prediction. I think Hemrick is going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. I think he's going to get some wins.
I think Hemrick is still and this is what I love about the Xfinity, is that it's so competitive to the point to where Hemrick can still win the championship without a win.
Yes, he can. And it wouldn't be the first time that's happened either, because guess who's done it? Crafton. Matt fucking Crafton went an entire season and got.
And I mean, it's definitely a lot harder to do now based on the playoffs and the eliminations, and of course, whoever finishes ahead of whoever wins the championship, so on and so forth. But all it takes is Hemrick to go out there, win the first two stages when we get to Phoenix, and then finish third. And anybody who's behind him, it's the Xfinity Series is so exciting in that regard. Yeah, so exciting in that regard.
And what do we got coming up? Another mile and a half. We got Kansas. And guess who's strong on mile and a half? JGR. I mean, Hemrick could very well go out and win the next weekend and advance himself into the Final Four.
I don't know that Hemrick ever wins, personally. But I think that he's a grenade, meaning any moment he could blow up and go and win, right? I mean, he's 10 times finishing second place. Like, at some point, statistically, right? Like, he's broken the odds now. We've had 10 races, 100%. Like, at some point, statistically, he has to win.
And when he wins, guess what? That's a backflip. We get to see the backflip again, because that is Hemrick's actual celebration. He does a backflip.
And, I mean, I'm sure at some point I'll end up eating my words for all of the hate I've thrown towards DH, but...
In general.
Yeah.
In general.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
DH in second place,
Oh, I know. I was just even hate DH.
So I mean, it is what it is. It was a good race, but I want to wave a caution flag though. I do not think that there should be any new drivers per se running in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, no, there shouldn't. And also, on top of that, the 54 car is absolutely... Why isn't it running for a championship? What the fuck is Joe Gibbs going to do next season? That's my question, because we only have one solidified driver. Top. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that still hasn't even, been officially confirmed yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a given. It's going to happen. But, yeah, no, Brendan Jones is up in the air. Hemrick is confirmed to be going to Kaulig. And then Harrison is moving up. So, I mean, Joe Gibbs has a lot of room to sign some guys, and, some stuff could get shifted around. I mean, the Xfinity is going to be exciting for multiple reasons, because that 22 car is still up in the air, too. We don't know if it's even going to be running.
I do think that Brad is going to purchase that team. I genuinely do.
Ford can't drop down to just one car in the Xfinity Series.
No.
Where's the driver development at?
Yeah, they can't do that, and that's a bad. We're already in a bad situation. Ford's in a bad situation.
Who's Deegan going to be running for? Because it's confirmed she's running next season.
Yep.
Who's she running for?
I think it's going to be that 98 car. The sponsorship's already there.
I mean, it is like that. Let's be honest. Riley has been warming that seat for her, but she's going to be full time in the truck, though.
Yeah, I think she'll be running part time 98. I think Kevin Harvick and some of those other boys will be running some Xfinity Series races. That's what I think is going to be happening. I think that's what's going to be happening there.
Herbst to the 18.
That's legible. I mean, that's totally possible because that would also fit Ford's history as far as losing young talent to Toyota.
But Herbst has already came from that car, literally the 18 car. That's where it came from in the first place.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Jim Gibbs would take him back, honestly.
Put him to the 19.
Hey, he's got 3 seats to fill, and I mean, right as of right now, there's not much talent to really fill it with.
Unless he drops down and takes the 2 in the truck.
That's a possibility too. I mean, you got Sheldon moving out of the 2 truck. So, I mean, the trucks are going to have open seats. Xfinity is going to have plenty of open seats. I mean, I guess only the silly season and all the rumors that'll come out will tell with time. But I guess this is a perfect place to move on from the Xfinity and go into today.
I found a cool video.
There we go.
Yes.
Just
yes.
Throw him in that 8. He'd probably go out there and win. It's in his blood.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, here. I thought that was funny.
What was that from?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Is that when didn't Kyle spin somebody today?
Chris Buescher.
Yeah, I bet that was what that was from.
Yo, Buescher was on he was on JGR's radar today. They hated him today.
Buescher, I was surprised to see him.
Buescher and Briscoe. It was like the Fords. They're like, fuck you two.
Ford's back.
Roush is back.
You've said it all year. So Cup race. A little context for my Cup race today. Totally impromptu, unscheduled. Shout out Papa Good, Dalton's dad, for making me them wings. Dalton's been hyping those wings up since his first ever time on our show today. Our show ever, right? First time he was on, he talked about his dad's wings. Finally, so I'm here to give you all the scoop on Papa Good's wings. Dalton hyped them up. He made them out to be that they are perfect, fantastic, just absolute God tier wings. And I'm here to confirm that they are, in fact, God tier wings. Best wing sauce I've ever had in my entire life.
Was it custom?
Homemade. He fried the wings himself and sauced them up himself with his homemade recipe. Incredible. So shout out the Good family for letting me come and crash their house today while we watched the race.
Hey, shout out whoever took him to Italian Village too.
Hey, that was me.
Hey, shout out that. He finally got that pizza.
Papa Good hooked me up with a lot of Miller Lite today as well. Had some beers, kicked them back with the boys. And also, I was gifted a Tony Stewart diecast, which is incredible. So shout out the Good family. Dalton would be on the show tonight, but he is on his way back home. So that is why Dalton's absent from tonight's show. So Texas.
Texas, man.
Speaking of that, hang on. I just wanted to show off the old Miller because you pulled out the shirt, the little pint glass.
Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored by Miller Lite.
And then what me and Cody just picked up, I've got a 1972 Indianapolis 500 mini 8-ounce cup. I've got Cody a 71, and it's got all the winners on the back dating from 1911 to the race before.
So dope. Such a cool find.
That's badass.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. This race, like I said, was rare. I mean,
I had to do it since someone's not here.
That's what I figured. Yeah, it's been being funky. So
you're back. Just like Roush, you're back.
Roush is back, baby. Let me tell you, Buescher was up there until Kyle Busch decided to drive straight through him. He's going to get that top 10.
Would he?
It's hard to tell, man. Honestly, today, completely unbiased. Penske was showed up.
You're back.
Penske showed up, and I don't know how
They
to
did.
feel about it.
They showed up until he blowed up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not happy about that. That kind of hurt, seeing as how he's minus 45 right now.
I had money on him today. That's who I put my money on.
I had money on Austin Dillon. That hurt.
I'm glad you bring it up because that was the segue I was looking for. Tyler Red Dog Reddit went out there and showed himself to be a true blue Cup Series driver. First off, the paint scheme was absolutely gorgeous. Secondly, the driver of that gorgeous paint scheme went out there and proved that RCR has this track down to a T. He was competitive, top 5 most of the day. Obviously ran into some bad luck towards the end. But when it comes down to it, he goes out there, dominates, does his thing. Did he have enough for Larson? He was starting to run him down a little bit. He was until some things happened. But Tyler Reddick, since he's been eliminated from the playoffs, it's like it almost ignited a spark under him. And
what you said was going to happen to Dillon happened to Reddick.
Yeah, had the cars wrong. Tyler Reddick I think he is here to stay in the Cup for a long time, and I think we're only going to see continued success out of him. As a OG Tyler Reddick fan, my heart couldn't be happier from what we saw today, last week, the week before, since he's been eliminated. If he would have ran like this the first 3 races of the playoffs, he'd still be in contention right now.
Yeah, and he ran well. Byron has to hate him now.
This is a feud that's coming.
Oh yeah, there's no way that Byron does not hate him now after the contact. I was honestly surprised that Christopher Bell today ran really well. Byron, Brad was the top Penske car. Like what the fuck?
Brad looked good. Brad looked good.
I don't understand how he was.
Shout out Brad. Shout out Brad.
Went out in the middle of nowhere and was like,
Brad's setting up to kind of be a little bit of a dark horse in my book, honestly.
Yeah.
He ran great last weekend at a road course, which is unlike Brad. 9 times out of 10, Jacob, you're lagging out, so I'm going to talk until you're back, or Coop can. Brad's typically a wrecking ball out on the road courses, right? I mean, he is hitting everything except for his marks. But last week he looked really good at the Roval. And then this week he looked really good as well. And consistency does still pay off. There he is. It's that boy. Why is that? Did you put that on there?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. I mean, look, Brad's here, right? Brad, do you have anything to say about today's race?
Can't wait for Roush.
All right, there it is. We heard it from Brad himself.
Oh, man, I didn't mean to do that to him. Oh, I feel bad. Fuck, that quote haunts me.
Jesus.
God. I mean,
shout out
fuck.
BK.
Fuck.
Shout out BK.
Wait. Where?
So anyway,
where's the
shout out.
Where's
Brad.
the video of his dad? Or he's like, he don't need to.
Oh god.
Which one?
I don't think it's on here anymore.
No, it is. I think it's this one.
Bob Keselowski back here at the Care Center waiting for his son Brad to come in. And Bob, you came up. What was your view on what happened on the final lap?
Brad got into Carl, getting out on turn 1, racing him. They bumped, they rubbed. Typical rubbing racing deal. Carl flipped out like he did at Atlanta and tried to kill the kid. I'm sick and tired of this. I'll get my own damn uniform back on and take care of this. He ain't going to kill my boy.
I hope that that's what Brad becomes as he gets older. I hope
Oh.
Brad turns into Bob.
Shout out to Suarez today.
Suarez. Will Suarez love?
Suarez.
Shout out
yeah.
anybody holding their line.
I was really genuinely surprised that Truex didn't just start like bashing him.
I'm trying to think though. Summer said it best. Because she's on the fence when it comes to Truex. One day she loves him, one day she doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, at least he was nice about it. And I was like, yeah, but you got to remember, he's not nice on his headset. But when he goes out to talk to the media, he's a baby face.
Oh yeah. I mean, even Eric Jones had a good day today. He got a 12th place finish. Matty
They were
D,
talking about him too.
Yeah.
Shout out Bubba.
Shout out Bubba one good
Hey,
time.
listen,
I've got it.
I'll say it. Go ahead. Say it.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I need to hear it again.
It's way up there ahead. We see the 23 turned around, collecting more and more cars. Now the track is blocked. You can't just slow these things down and stop on a dime. You're basically getting shoved and pushed into the crash. Smoke starts to cover the racetrack where you can't see where to go to avoid this crash and avoid cars spinning. That's exactly what it looks like behind the wheel.
I'd like to go back and see that again. I think Bubba just got loose. But
Heavy hits for these guys as they're getting bounced around inside the cars. Unbelievable.
I can tell if there's any contact. Looks like Alex Bowman's right behind him.
So Bubba would have survived the crash had Ryan Preece not just absolutely full speed like barreled into him.
I hated watching him. He like took his hands off and he was like, it looked.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was sad. It was sad.
So here's a little fun tidbit about that incident. Yes, that car was absolutely gorgeous, and I hated to see it get absolutely destroyed. But when it comes down to it, NASCAR drivers did not do that until Danica Patrick taught them that. Danica Patrick is like the foremother, I guess you can't say forefather, the foremother of pulling away from the wheel. She was the first driver to really like do that and make that prominent in the series.
Well, she was in plenty of wrecks, so she
had a lot of time to practice for that. Yeah.
Honestly, I think out of that wreck, Ricky took it the hardest. His car was fucked.
Bubba got hit hard by Preece.
Bubba got
really
hit
hard.
really fucking hard.
But
Ricky's car
yeah,
was
exactly.
torn.
Because of Danica's time in Indy, she learned that it hurts your wrist really bad. And I think that was a really cool crossover from the sports. A lot of people forget that motorsports always learn from each other, and that was a big learning thing for NASCAR. But back to the Bubba wreck, turn 2 in Texas is treacherous. We saw it in the summertime during the All-Star race weekend. There were a lot of crashes right there on the exit of turn 2 because people just lose their cars. They get back into the throttle a little bit.
Wasn't it Brad that they showed where it was like bumpy when they were under caution?
Yep.
You could just see him. He was like
well,
losing his shit.
So
Yeah.
that is the same spot because that's where I was at for the All-Star race in June. Was right there at the exit of turn 2. And the reason why there's people on that campsite that let us come and watch on their scaffolding is because they said that that's the spot for any Texas wreck coming out of turn 2.
I think it's where every wreck happened was right at turn 2, was it not?
That's where Sheldon ate the wall, and then Sheldon came and watched the race with us, and I was like, this sounds terrible, bro. I was like, but how does it feel to like stand here and see like your dent in the wall? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. So I mean, yeah, and that was still at a time where I still wasn't sold on Sheldon as a person because that was fresh after the Camping World ordeal. But Sheldon's a cool guy, really cool guy. But yeah, that's just
all those Camping World cars, man.
Dude, that race was incredible. They had like 13 cars, I think it was.
Didn't know who the fuck was who. Say it one more time.
Shout out Marcus Lemonis.
Honestly, yeah, he brings a lot of money to the sport.
He does. Yeah.
The Texas two-step turn 2. I like that. That's it. But yeah, so that happens. What's some other notable moments in the race? Kyle Busch, yeeting Chris Buescher. I think we have a video of that, don't we?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Oh, Kyle Busch gets into the 17. Buescher.
Buescher trying to stay out of traffic. He
There's a big
does.
save.
And then Alfredo gets absolutely ran over by Chase Briscoe.
See, I couldn't find that one, but the fire. The video was a little short, but yeah, the fire was fucking big off that one.
Do you have a video for that?
I don't.
Okay. Yeah. So I haven't seen fire spread like that in a hot minute.
No, and it was it was pretty crazy. Obviously, good save by Buescher. I did not expect him to
Yeah,
save
we
that
gotta make
car.
it about Ford. Yeah,
We gotta
shout
make it
out
about
Roush,
Buescher.
baby.
Buescher. I mean, he did save it. I thought the wreck was over. I had no idea even anybody else was turned until I seen.
Well, see, so I saw like in the live video, I saw Anthony spinning, and I called it, but I didn't expect it to be catastrophic the way it was.
Yeah.
Can I bitch?
That's what we're here for.
NBC was not good on the coverage again today. Not good. They cut it from Denny Hamlin when he gets cut. They cut it back to first place, watching Kyle Larson dominate. And right before they cut it, you see Denny start to turn. And I'm like, the footage. You cut the camera. What do you? And then it cuts back. There he is, spinning just a little bit, touches the wall. And I'm like,
all you just hear Junior. Whoa!
and we're still watching Kyle Larson dominate for a couple seconds. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why?
While we're bitching about something, I want to bitch about Hendrick for a second. I have never in my life seen something like I did today. There was one point where Byron and Larson.
He fucked me out. I had him in a lineup today, and he did not perform too well. I understand what had happened, but still.
Who?
Chase, I had him in my lineup, and it fucked me out of some money.
I mean,
And Ricky. Chase and Ricky were the two that really dropped me back.
I cashed
That
out
sucked.
today.
I didn't cash out on nothing. I had Blaney, Dylan, and then a lineup. I got none of it.
Byron and Larson had an 8-second lead over the pack, and everybody else was within a second of each other today. And
It was, dude, you'd give it like 3 laps. Larson was pulling ahead like 2.5 seconds. It was fucking.
It's ridiculous. It's insane. Like there's no
Which is
way-
fine because give it like 5 years, we're going to be like, damn, remember 2021 when just Kyle Larson dominated? So it's cool.
Do you
we're
remember
getting
the first year of Larson's domination, and we're on year number 9 now?
Yeah, this is another Jimmy Johnson situation. I'm calling it now. He's going to be dominant from here on out. There's nothing that's going to stop that Hendrick car. And obviously, something's up. Like they either have these 1.5 miles figured out to a level that no one else does, or they're cheating. There's just no. other
maybe
fucking-
maybe they figured out the same manipulation in another sense that Stuart Haas had figured out last year. So obviously it's not like general knowledge, but Stuart Haas last season, they had learned how to manipulate their wheel well for better aerodynamics, and it passed NASCAR's inspection. NASCAR caught on to it. It wasn't in the rule books last year, so they couldn't be like, no, you can't do this. So going into this season, they fixed that. And I would say, given we are going to bring this comment up, we're going to a new car. So I would say if this gen had one more season, whatever it is that Hendrick's doing that's giving them the advantage would be added to the rule books, right? The same way that it was for Stuart Haas last year. Stuart Haas had an incredible season last year. All of their cars made it to the playoffs. It was just an incredible year. But they were manipulating the cars, not illegally, but it was a gray enough area to where NASCAR couldn't punish them, but NASCAR could at season end change the rules to prevent that manipulation from happening again. And I'd say it's the same thing. And I think you see it not so much with every Chevy. So it is like Hendrick isn't, spreading the gospel the same way that Stuart Haas didn't spread it to Penske last year, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say there's something, whether it be like a spoiler or, something along the lines similar to the way that Harvick was able to dominate last year. Because let's be honest, this is a sport. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. And going into this year, I was anti bending the rules. But the more that I've watched it, the bigger of a an analytical watcher of the sport, I would say, and also just worshiping the nose, that the bondoing on the nose. But worshiping the ground that Dale Earnhardt Jr. walks on, hearing him talk about bending the rules. And I love his philosophy on it. He says that he wants his team to try to break the rules, and he wants NASCAR to catch him breaking the rules. I think that's a really great balance to have, right? I mean, if you're going to try to break the rules, then you would hope that your sanctioning body is going to try to catch you breaking the rules. So if you're breaking the rules, then shame on NASCAR for not catching them. But I don't think that they are doing anything illegal based on the 2021 NASCAR rulebook.
What can we do for cars that get sent to the back, though? Like,
I think
2 years from now, what can we do?
I think that needs to stop with everybody. I don't think that you need to be failing 3 times every weekend. I mean, obviously, Martin Truex Jr. is like the pinnacle of that, or has been at least. Hendricks kind of.
He was the only guy today in the playoffs
that made it first. And I was like, of all the times, you were the one. And I think for future reference, they need to have like, hey, okay, the first time you fail inspection, have a 3-strike rule. You can fail inspection 3 times a year. Because, I mean, me and my dad.
Yeah, what if you fail it 2 times in one inspection?
Well, I mean, so the way NASCAR works, though, if you fail 3 times, you're out. You get 3 strikes and you're out, right? And that's what Chase experienced last year in the Phoenix race, the championship race. Chase failed 3 times and came from the back. So it was obvious Chase was going to have a rocket ship, right? But he passed. And, I can put my tinfoil hat on and I can say, well, NASCAR just wanted the golden boy, right? Because that's all Chase is to Chase is not a talented driver to anybody. He's nothing more than a puppet golden boy for NASCAR's ratings, right? That's how everybody feels. That's what everybody thinks. Let's be real, though. I mean, dude can drive. He's clearly a skilled and intelligent driver. But I'm going to break away from y'all here. I think that cheating has always been a part of the sport. It's always innovated the sport and made the sport better.
It was Richard Petty that said that, wasn't it?
What?
That, cheating is a part of the sport.
Junior Johnson.
Okay.
Junior was a dirty-ass driver is what he was. That motherfucker would fill his roll cage up with gas just so he didn't have to pit. I mean, that is the biggest dick move in the world. I mean, you don't get energy like that from anybody. This dude is risking his life entirely, unnecessarily, to hollow out his roll cage so he can fit more fuel into his car.
That's mad respect, though.
If that would have rolled and flipped and caught a spark, his whole car is just engulfed, right? I mean, that's all there is to it. But a lot of the things that Junior did, a lot of the things that Richard Petty did, because Richard Petty might be considered by some to be the greatest of all time. And you can count all 200 of his wins, and that's fine. But Richard Petty was a dirty, rotten cheater, right? I mean, his car was illegal for, 6 seasons? Entirely illegal before they caught on to it. And, Richard Petty always had an advantage because he had a lot of funding for his team, and he knew how to bend the rules without necessarily getting caught. And to me, we, as NASCAR fans and on this podcast, we're always complaining, right? We just want it to be the way it used to be. We want it to go back to how it was. We want that old school style racing. Well, guess what? If they're cheating and they're winning based on it, that's as old school as it gets.
So I disagree. And here's what I'm going to say. I think, like I said, I think that if you're cheating in this day and age at this point, I mean, these cars have so fucking tight templates. I mean, they take them in there and they put a template on them. At this point, especially with this car being as old as it is, we've been running Gen 6 since literally 2013. So as old as this car is, there should not be people failing inspection like as many times.
But okay, so take yourself out of a fan spot, okay? I want you to completely be in the mindset of a crew chief or a team owner. If you think that you can drop the wedge a little bit right here or add a little bit of more weight right here or maybe bend in this fender a little bit and it's going to give you 0.2 of a second per lap. You're telling me that you're not going to lean up against that car with your knee a little extra harder?
Absolutely not. No,
I am. I then call me a piece of shit
way.
because I am.
What, Jacob?
I couldn't. I fucking couldn't. Like, I don't
Okay,
know
so
what it is.
Cooper, then you answer my question.
I'm gonna dig my fucking knee as tight as I can into that goddamn
So
fender.
Jacob, you're just better than we all are.
I just
Jacob would
couldn't-
100% do it.
No, I don't think it's right. I think it's
That
I think there's
T-Rex
plenty of
car.
cars. There's plenty of cars that are out there right now that are following the rules and they're getting fucked. I mean,
So don't
I'm-
follow the rules anymore. If okay, let's do this.
what's the
then,
point of
Jacob.
having rules?
So let's do this because they're passing, right? They're sneaking it by. Okay, Jacob, let's say me and you are in line, right? We are in line to meet Dale Earnhardt Sr. because they brought him back to life, right? And
Shout
the
out,
first 100
shout out Walt
people-
Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
He's coming back.
the first 100 people to go through these gates get Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s autograph, and you see a hole in the fence that nobody else sees, and you could just fall right in. You're telling me you're going to be 101?
Yeah,
Nah, I'm crawling through that fence.
show up early.
I'm crawling through the fence.
Show up early. I mean,
You-
why not?
Jacob, you
you
don't show
are-
up early to
yeah.
nowhere. Get out of here.
thing
You
is,
gonna
though,
lie to me?
The thing is, though, like if you either follow the fucking rules or you fucking don't. There's no line.
But if they're passing by
You don't follow the
NASCARs-
rules.
by NASCAR.
Hey, buddy, don't
When
have
do
your
I
cell
know?
phone out in class in high school. Motherfucker always had his cell phone out in class. That's not following the
That was
rules.
my work. I was always done.
Doesn't matter. That's the rule. It's set in place. You got to follow the rules.
If you can get by bending the rules
You
enough
don't
to where
follow.
it passes, if you could get by to where it passes NASCAR's code and NASCAR's standards, but it maybe doesn't follow the rule book and they missed out on it, to me, that's a shame on NASCAR. They should have done better.
Oh, agreed. I blame NASCAR 100%.
Me
Like,
too.
NASCAR-
So we agree on this. It's just we're coming from two different perspectives. I don't think you should cheat your way through life. I don't think cheating is a way to excel through life, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're underselling yourself and your capabilities if you cheat your whole way through, right? If you cheat through school, you're screwing yourself out of a proper education, right? You're getting a meaningless degree, and when you get into the field, you're not going to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's fine. But when it comes to NASCAR, we're talking they have a sanctioning body who inspects the cars. If you can modify that car a little bit to the point to where NASCAR doesn't notice, but you're going to be exponentially faster than your opponents. Like I said, I'm going to lean my knee in and bend that fender a little bit. Who was it earlier this year? It was during a pit stop where somebody kneed in the door intentionally.
Oh shit.
And NASCAR caught him.
Martin.
Was it Martin Truex?
I think it was Martin Truex. Ryan, come here.
Yeah.
Where you at, Ryan?
Where's Ryan at? Stat guy.
I think it was Martin. I think it was a JTG guy.
Yeah. So, okay. 03 King. I don't know who 03 King is, so I can't call you by name. If you drop your name in the chat, that's how I refer to you from now on. But until then, you're zero to me. But
I told
so
you.
yeah,
I
it was
know.
Truex. So pit guy leans his knee in and bends in that door a little bit. Aerodynamic advantage. But NASCAR had their eyes on it and they saw it happen, so therefore they called it out and corrected it. Chad, shout out Chad one good time. Thank you, Chad.
Thanks,
You're the
Chad.
new stat guy. Ryan left, so you're hired. But so that's a part of it, right? So had they not been busted and they did that, shame on NASCAR for not catching it.
But can we agree though? It's always the same guys. It's always trying to pull this shit.
So if every single time that I was around you, Jake,
Corey LaJoy cheated today. He was sent to the rear. Corey LaJoy.
and that's what I would expect from Spire, right? Like I want them to try to bend the rules. a
Justin
little bit
Haley.
faster.
It was Spire in general. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
Spire today.
So
yeah.
that's what I want. Now, when it comes down to it, I think that if you have a repeat offender, so Jacob, if you came over to my house and every time you came over, one of my die casts back here would go.
I heard
missing.
repeat offender and Jacob in the same sentence. I'm kind of
Yeah.
scared.
So every time you came over, if one of those die casts behind me go missing every single time you come over, that fifth or sixth time that you come over, I'm Hawkeyeing you, right? I'm like, this dude is doing something, right? So therefore, that person does deserve a little extra scrutiny. Does Hendrick deserve extra scrutiny and maybe an even more thorough inspection than Stuart Haas? Yeah.
But they don't. That's my point.
Or do they? Because they fail every single week. Is Hendrick being singled out and looked at even more than any other team right now due to the amount of times that they fail inspection?
Well, I mean, obviously they've been sent to the back this year more than they have in the past. I mean, throw in 2019,
And
18.
can I make a statement? Now I'm on my soapbox. So, as NASCAR fans, we all bitch and complain about the lack of passing, right? Like, it's just hard to pass with this package. You know, it's rough, right? We all bitch about it. How the fuck does Hendrick go out there and just pass everybody like they're sitting still? And then we still bitch about, like, the incapabilities of passing, right? Isn't it kind of just, like, weird? Like, we pick and choose, like, what we're complaining over. And that's a little unrelated, but you saying that, like, they always get sent to the back, and then 10 laps later, they're in the top 10.
As soon
We can pass.
as any like top runner car gets sent to the back, I immediately tell myself they're going to be a force to be reckoned with 9 times out of 10. Because 9 times out of 10, they're in the top 10 within 10, 15 laps. That's my point. Like every time they go back.
Chase at Richmond specifically. Or no, it was Larson at Richmond. I'm sorry. Larson at Richmond. At Richmond, that's a shorter track, right?
Yeah.
Larson was competing for the stage win in stage 1. Right, he was in the top 10 by lap 32. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes.
I mean, and obviously we're bitching. We're bitching to the sky right now because this car literally goes away in a couple of weeks.
Right,
and we're on scratch paper. There's going to be people fail because it's a new car and they're trying to figure stuff out. And they're going to be trying to get whatever they want.
I do think that we are going to see much fewer violations due to the fact that now NASCAR has followed suit behind F1. In the sense that all chassis are coming from one place.
They have, and they have eliminated a process there. There's either going to be one or two things that happen with the next gen car, with Gen 7. It's going to bring back an era where you would have drivers like Ward Burton win a race, or we're going to go nowhere. It's either we're going back.
I think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be the first.
I'd give my left nut to see like.
And I'll tell you why. I can back that. The guy who is the most vocal for the underfunded team, the guy who is the appointed by NASCAR like fan relations guy, Corey LaJoie himself. He tweeted after testing at the Roval, which we haven't even talked about. We haven't even talked about the next gen yet. We had a whole day 2 days worth of testing for it. So let's talk about that next gen. Here we are. We're only an hour and 7 minutes in, so we still have 40 minutes to go.
Can I talk about it? Next gen with the number placement is beautiful.
Yeah. If it didn't sell
beautiful.
If it did not sell you those cars,
you know what sold me?
Which
weird
one?
to say, Daniel Suarez.
Chrome numbers have been approved by NASCAR. But they have to be approved before the race. So we're going to get chrome numbers back.
It's beautiful. Oh, my God. Dude. Of course, I'm going to say like that. My pretty Bass Pro car looked the best out there. But Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse's car looked really fucking sharp, too.
Justin Haley's car looked gorgeous, too.
I didn't see Justin's.
You didn't see the leaf filter?
I did. Never mind. Take it back. Sorry. Yes, I did.
That was one of the better looking. But my thing is you could tell which teams are taking advantage of this new sponsorship space and who's not, because that fucking 17 car is dog shit.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it'll take time. Give them time. That's a test car. Literally, it's a test car, right? I will say though, I loved Bubba's car, and it was so plain. But that was, in my opinion, only rivaled by Suarez. Bubba's car was absolutely gorgeous. Every sponsor, which they weren't big by any means, yeah, that's the way it should look. But Bubba's car was gorgeous. And there was nothing fancy about it. It was a killer paint scheme. The base paint scheme was killer. And then it just had, that would look incredible.
Roush was on some shit that day.
Yeah, literally, they knew it was bad. Like, they were tweeting that. They knew that it wasn't a great paint scheme, but it was a test day. But like what Bubba ran, literally, his car was so plain and so basic, but yet at the same time, every sponsor, you had Columbia, you had Toyota, you had DoorDash, you had Draft, every of his sponsors,
Pepper, DraftKings, everyone was on
there. But it was such.
You know what I miss? I miss the little like up towards the front wheel, where it was like Moog. It was like Moog and all that. Yeah, I fucking loved those.
Yeah, those
it was so
contingency
cool.
stickers were incredible, and I wish that would
Yeah.
make a comeback because
That
you
was
know,
cool.
so by NASCAR rule, those were required to be there. They would send you a layout of how you place those stickers on the car, and you know that's we don't have stickers anymore because the stickers are not aerodynamically friendly, so therefore everything's wrapped now.
And through the years too, you could just see those contingency stickers like shortening and shortening
Yeah.
and shortening and shortening. But my thing is, I don't mind the number a little further back near the A post, and that's still forward when it's near the A post. But I just don't like it pushed all the way to the.
So I'm just gonna be a blunt asshole when I ask you this. Is there any, like, let's be honest, is there anything they could do other than leaving the number where they're at to keep you completely satisfied?
Yeah, like I said, move it near the A post, just a little bit further back. I mean, just a.
Let me find a ref here. I don't like this.
There's a couple.
Here's a Gregson card sitting on my desk. Look at the emptiness. I don't like that. Some cars have stuff, some cars don't. I don't like that.
And
I
I
like
think
it
that all
pushed forward,
fall-
and
that-
this comes
that all
out more.
falls back to, you know, the team's designers. So for example, I mean, I'll say it and I'll be like the bad guy of the episode or whatever. I don't think that 2311 has a very good graphic designer.
Eat my bubbles.
Well, that was fan vote. The fans decided that one. But
The
somebody had
only
to
car
make
that's looked
that
good
design.
was him and Eric Jones when they split, when it was the swordfish and the other. That's the best design of the year.
Now, the one this year was incredible, but I will say just the primary DoorDash car is gorgeous.
Oh,
The-
it's
just
the
the
most beautiful
standard,
race car I've ever
And
seen.
then the McDonald's car that he won at Talladega in was incredible as well.
Thank
But
you.
for the most part,
The
it's
DraftKings
just-
car was really cool too.
It was, but I feel like something is always off on the cars. Even the standard DoorDash car, the number is up way too high. And it's minor little details like that. I mean, I can be petty, but RCR, best cars every year, right? Every race, RCR always just has the best cars.
And if you notice, the 3 is very pushed forward near the A post. They've ran that car like that. If you look at the Lionel diecast and you put them all next to each other, the 3's number is pushed up near the A post. It is pushed up. Now it's such a big font.
It is farther,
Yeah,
but it's
farther
due.
up.
It's due to the slant.
The slant. Now, I think that if they put it at the A post, put it just a little bit farther back, not too much, they could still have that sponsor space. But I will say that cars with one number look a lot better than they do with 2.
So, as a student of media communication and studying marketing, I will say that right there. Yes, exactly. Right. That's it. The hood or the roof. Like, it's just 2311. Just they struggle. But as a student of media and communication with a little bit of studies in marketing and ad stuff, I mean, it's a
Hey,
smart
shout out
business.
marketing and ad, baby.
It's a smart business move for NASCAR, regardless of if 50% of teams catch on and want to use that extra ad space, or if they don't. That it's still bringing in more money to the sport because they are giving these people more room to buy on the car.
Hey, do me a favor. Is there a website that has them all broke down? Remember that time that you pulled up all the number placements? Do they have the next gen cars, the test cars? Can you find a website that's got each one so we can kind of like
I can try.
see? Because like when Jacob said, of course, the 17, we've all seen it. It's fucking bad. But like the 19, let's see the 19. The 99 looks great. That's
The
2 numbers.
19, They just moved it up and they put.
And also, in all fairness, though, like we haven't seen like the true paint schemes yet, right?
No, these are test cars. I mean, these are absolute test cars. They can
Well,
get
we
better.
saw Kurt Busch. His looked beautiful.
Yeah, we did. And that's another thing to talk about. The Front Row Motorsports deal fell through. And Denny said today that 2311 is going to have 2 cars with or without a charter. So, I mean, we'll see. It's exciting. I'll tell you
I
what.
didn't know
I'll pull
that.
it up.
That's
I'll pull
news.
it up.
That's news to me.
Yeah, the deal
didn't know
fell
that.
through. And a lot of people believe that the deal fell through due to the sheer fact alone that Bubba won. So let's do it this way. So that's a nice car there.
That
I
one
think
is not
that is a very good use of the new ad space, right?
Yes, I agree. I agree there.
Good use. It was good use because they have the actual Bass Pro logo there now.
I'm sorry. It's the best car out there right now. I love that car.
And I genuinely appreciate your bias. That, to me, that right there is gorgeous.
The number's too small, but the design to it is so fucking cool.
Like, that is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you know what, Jacob? You can complain, and that's your right. But guess what? We don't have that. Let's be honest. Forward was the answer.
Forward is better. That looks like absolutely
That 4 car still looks sharp as shit. I love it.
Truex's was really nice, too.
I don't like the number.
God, I do. I love it. I am happy we're going forward after all of this. I loved that. I think Larson had a really nice scheme for the test. What did Willie's look like?
That was Chase in that car.
Well, they split it.
Oh, they split it? I didn't know they split it.
Yeah. Harvick and Almirola split the 4, and Briscoe and Custer split the 14.
Can you hit that JTG car right there?
That one?
No, the one where
That's
it's
bad. That's really
so
bad. I hate how they're like Kroger, Cottonelle. Who are we sponsored by? Doesn't matter. Throw it on.
Which one are you talking about?
That one right there that you got your thing on. Then do you see what I mean about the A post? If they just move it up a little bit.
Are you talking about this one?
No, the one you had. The one you had with the 47.
This one?
Yeah. Now, they have the number.
The first one.
No, that one right there. That one right there. The one you got it on.
Oh.
If they move that number up to right there near the A post, that would not bother me. Like, it's still pushed forward a little bit, but they didn't push it as forward as everybody else.
Pull up Bowman's.
I love it how they were just like Chevy. What do you think about what do you think about the new team that's coming in with the Euro guy and Jacques Villeneuve?
Yeah, I honestly don't know how to feel about it.
It's a very classic looking car. I would love to be able to find it.
You just passed it right there. Yeah.
I love that. Good. I love the fact that they have an emphasis on the 27, right? It stands out. They have that little black circle around it.
That looks good. I will sit here and say that looks good. And I think it's because it has that retro number style to it.
That's where Matty D goes.
No, that ride's already booked. That is a stock car. I don't know what else to tell you. That is just a stock car right there.
The matte black.
And the red detailing, right? Like it's beautiful.
What's that one? Go next to your finger. Go left. Yeah,
that's that was Custer when he tested.
Yep,
I like that. I like it a lot.
It was interesting.
Penske was a little bland when they.
Penske was very bland. Yeah,
Penske and Hendrick both were. Because
what's the other one? Go back up.
Emblem.
Next, it's 2 over from Blaney's face.
I don't see.
Scroll down. Blaney, 2 over. That.
Oh, that was okay. That was the Ford Chevy Toyota.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just standard. I'm excited to see what teams are going to implement.
Like you said, they still got time. They got time to make it look good.
And some teams are going to excel with their schemes, and some teams won't. The same way that today, Ricky Stenhouse's schemes sometimes are absolutely incredible, and then sometimes it's the Kroger Velveeta mobile, and it clashes a little bit.
I will always be a fan of where the numbers are now, but you can't argue with money. That's the thing. If they're getting more money.
That's my biggest thing, right? Without money in NASCAR, of every sport, right? Money dictates the sport more than any other sport in the world. I mean, it's literally that's where all the funding comes from. These cars are meant to be billboards. These cars are meant to sell product. That's where they found the money came. They're literally moving billboards, and it's been that way for a very, very, very long time, literally since day one. And you know, at the end of the day, sponsors are going to pick what the direction of the sport is. You can love it or you can hate it. Sponsors are always going to dictate the sport, and wherever a sponsor can get more bang for their buck, they're going to.
Speaking of sponsor, dude, I did not like Denny Hamlin's car today. It didn't seem right. I didn't like Craftsman on his car. I didn't feel like I was watching Denny Hamlin.
I mean, look, we have the number back here. You know, I mean, numbers didn't become a staple on the door until a little bit into NASCAR's history. And, you know, that's an argument that a lot of people have liked to use. That was 60 years ago. But at the end of the day, that sponsorship has always propelled the sport. And any car you see driving without a sponsor probably isn't performing as well as the ones who are. Like, I bet this guy right here struggled. Right. Well, that's very honest. I take that back. But you know what I mean. You know, sponsorships pay the bills. So, but Denny's car, it was weird seeing Denny in anything other than a FedEx car.
Or OfferPad. OfferPad's becoming a staple. I kind of ever since the meme of his face on it, it was like the Step Brothers kind of profile.
Who it was?
When that car, I hope to God Lionel drops that car. I need
who
it.
was it? Who was it who ran the one in Xfinity? Was it
Harrison? It was Harrison.
Was it Harrison?
Harrison, yeah.
Dude, this is such an incredible scheme. That's what NASCAR needs, right? And like the Corey LaJoie face car, like those, like NASCAR needs more like that. I mean, that's fans,
Austin Dillon runs one with Ace on it.
I would love that. Thank you, stat guy Chad. We got a new stat guy in the house.
Shout out Chad.
But I mean, like you said, they got time to perfect it. Obviously, it's happening now. I think there's a few cars that didn't really do it though, but they were smaller cars. They left the number in the middle.
Where's Kyle Busch?
I haven't seen.
Kyle didn't test.
Yeah, I haven't seen that car yet.
I just kind of hope that they leave it up to the choice. Like they can choose whether they want to put the number there or not.
No, they all have to be forward.
That's dumb.
I think it's definitely more uniform. I think that it would be ugly. And like I know that's like a very like simple elementary way to put it, but I think it would be ugly if you have some in the middle and some forward.
They'd be the oddball.
Yeah.
Especially for new fans. They'd be an oddball.
But, I mean, it's like I said, it's the same way as it is right now. You know, teams can have really good schemes with the numbers in the center, and some teams just they miss, right? And it's going to be the same way going forward. But as far as aesthetics go, I absolutely love the numbers shifting forward. It's a nice change.
I'm going to shake my head.
It doesn't listen. This does not impede on performance whatsoever. So I mean, it is what it is.
We still are waiting to see what it's.
You know, you're lucky we're even keeping numbers because we could just have the Home Depot car, right? I mean, F1. What number does Lewis Hamilton drive?
Isn't it like fucking like 40?
I'll show you. Hold on one second.
Isn't it? See, he doesn't know. No numbers. No numbers. We don't need them.
Really, that much to F1.
That would be weird. Could you imagine? You know how we always go out and be like, "Oh, that 2 car is performing well." Could you imagine we're just like, "Oh, that Brad Keselowski is doing well." It'd be weird not have numbers.
What number does he drive?
Is it 8? I feel like it's 8.
I feel like it's 98.
You tell me.
I just want to one up you, Jacob. 98.
I think it's 8.
I think it's 9. I think it's 7. I think it's 8.5. 8.5.
Do you see
8.25.
I would like to see triple digits make a return. I think that would be kind of dope.
Shout out the old EA Sports games where you could run like the fucking 187 car.
Look at his number.
Can't see
Chad
it.
has it. Chad had it. Oh, I didn't
44.
bring it up.
No.
Sorry, I was clicking through them, so I thought y'all were answering me. I was going through.
No.
I was like, see it? You see it?
But
you see it?
to be
You see
fair, F1 doesn't have that historical significance.
But that's what I'm saying. The numbers don't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, are you a Ryan Blaney fan or are you a number 12 fan?
He's a big Ryan Newman guy.
Number 6, baby.
See what I'm saying? It's just the numbers. I mean, they're there and like they do have importance in the history of NASCAR, right? But you're talking this right here is a multi-million-dollar car, right? Just due to the sponsorships alone, because they were like, you know what? We could have a big ass number, or we could make the number tiny and put more sponsorship money up here. So you're lucky that they didn't just shrink the font size of the number and just put it on the roof, for example, right?
I mean, I guess, but my opinion is that it looks like shit, and it will always be that, and I'll never be able to change my mind. But then again, I've been watching this literally since I was a kid, so like that's what I'm used to. And eventually I'll be used to the numbers being moved forward. But do I like it? Hell no. Hell no. It's like how you feel about Texas. There's just nothing that's going to be able to change your mind about Texas. You don't like Texas.
I know something I hate about the next gen. The single lug. That's fucking stupid. I hate that.
The single lug, honestly, I like it.
I don't.
I'll tell you why I like it, because we are seeing.
You ain't a man if you ain't taking off all fucking lug nuts with your goddamn bare power. You taking off one lug nut. Why even run wheels on the car? Why run? Just put your fucking feet in the ground. Do Fred Flintstone.
Crew chiefs every single week having to pay like $20,000 fines for missing 2 or 3 lug nuts.
Yeah,
it's
and it's dangerous. It's extremely and they're trying to get it tight. They're trying to hurry up the pit stops because pit stops have become so competitive in the recent years that they're leaving lug nuts loose. And how many races do we watch week in and week out where they're saying, "Oh, look, this guy right here's got a loose wheel," and he's having
someone had it yesterday.
So
I think it was JHN. No, it was AJ. AJ yesterday had a loose. Yeah.
So I mean, as far as like the fan experience, it sucks in the Cup Series that a little kid's not going to be able to be handed a lug nut from a car anymore.
And we can't buy them.
Right. And I mean, that's sad, but also that adds like more value to the lug nuts that we do have. I mean, so right here. Right.
Is that an RCR?
No, I believe that this one, is this the Harvick one? Yeah, this is a Harvick lug nut. And then this is a Kurt Busch confetti for winning at Atlanta.
Hey, but the pros of it is that we do have manufacturers that we can tell the difference in now. They don't look completely the same. That is a pro.
Ford?
Mustang looks fantastic. The Toyota looks good. The Chevrolet looks good. They all look good.
God, Ford takes the cake. Ford looks beautiful.
I'm going to be honest. There's something about that, and maybe it's biased, but that Camry is just gorgeous.
I don't like it. It looks like the Gen 6. Too much like the Gen 6, I think.
When you see them in person, because I've seen the next gen in person. And like when you see the next gen in person, it's lights out. It's incredible.
I'll change my opinion because right now it goes Ford, Chevy, Toyota.
That's about where I'm at as well.
Chevy doesn't look bad. Chevy looks too much like the Gen 6 too, besides the front end. The front end looks pretty sharp.
The rear end looks 1,000 times better.
I'm excited to see how that diffuser works. And like, as far as apparently we're never going to have dirty air again. So I'm eager to see how that pans out. If that's the case, intermediates are forever going to be competitive from here.
Where does Chevy go? If Camaros are out of production, do they stick with Camaro? Do they go?
They can't. It has to be a production
stock car.
So where do they go?
I think Chevy's still going to release a special edition Camaro every year.
They've already announced that it's over. They're not making any after like 2023 or 4.
I think it's 22.
22? Okay. So
I thought so, yeah.
A lot closer than what I thought it was.
I say we just bring the Monte Carlo back.
Because, I mean,
let's see Illumina.
Car.
Why not? I mean, like, why not? But the thing is about the Camaro,
Chevy Spark.
though, that's the deal with the Supra. That's why it took so long for the Supra to get into the Xfinity series, is because the wheelbase. They had to get that wheelbase right for the production car.
Sir, Chad. What? Chad?
I mean, that is the only viable answer there. But I feel like the Corvette, they would have to change because we are stock car, right? And that is the
you'd have to
biggest
change
emphasis.
it so much.
That is the biggest emphasis on this generation is we're going back to stock car racing. And that's why the Supra is not in the Cup Series, because I mean the Supra just is undersized compared to the Camry, right?
Yep.
The Corvette is undersized compared to the Camaro. And I mean the bodies still have to be similarly sized. They do.
They would have to go back to a front engine car. They've completely took that chance away of them ever coming into the NASCAR. I don't know.
Let's see a Chevy Bolt out there running.
We're not far from that.
No, Steve Phelps announced, I think it was 2024, we would be going over to hybrid engine. So, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Oh, Kyle Larson won again today.
Oh, wait, here.
That's number
Here.
99 car, Daniel Suarez. A little bit of contact right to the left rear quarter panel. Martin overcorrects the car, knocks the wall down. That was a massive hit. See the safer barrier come off the ground.
This is what.
Wash.
Shout out Safer Barrier yet again.
Yep. That would have been a
Shout out yours.
Sitting in the living room, baby.
honestly, that would have been such a bad hit if that safer barrier wasn't there, because he went at that wall a ton.
He tore the shit out of that car, too.
I've
He was
not seen the
scratched.
safer barrier move that way in a very long time.
Yeah, it come off the ground. I mean, honestly, shout out that team for trying to get that car back out there. Martin knew it was fucked, but they were like, we're going to try to get this thing back out there. The whole time I was like, I don't think you realize how bad it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, like
pretty
he's already in his
fucking tore
polo,
up.
right? He's
Yeah.
taking a shower.
Yeah, like
Because what, there were
go-
only like, 4 laps left or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it didn't hurt Truex that much. Joey got the worst of today.
Oh, here. There you go. That's where we're sitting right now.
Now, if you would have asked me at the start of the day to write my top 4 that are in, that would not have been my top 4.
Nope.
Chase is out by 8 points. Brad's out by 15. Truex 22 and Joey's 43.
Now, I appreciate the fact that the top 4 are in there, like the ranking is by actual like number order. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Well,
They
no,
need
I
a-
lied. Blaney and Denny messed it up.
Yeah.
Never mind. I
Blaney,
Dyslexic.
misread that. Yeah.
Blaney had a great points day. He didn't really have a necessarily great day, but he had a great stage point day.
He had what Brad needed. He had
Yeah.
what Brad needed.
I mean,
Even though Brad finished way above him, which is weird. I don't.
Let's be honest, though. Brad and Joey are automatically in and Truex are probably in a must-win now.
I'll
we're
be
going
honest.
we're going to Kansas.
Kansas. Joey's going to win it. Martinsville. We know who wins that. I think because Larson's not going to perform. He'll run. I don't think he's going to be competitive.
So then I guess that leads us into who we got for Kansas.
Oh, fuck.
So what?
I
We're just
believe-
running Xfinity and Cup because Truck doesn't run
Trucks
till
don't start till
Martinsville.
Yeah.
Yes.
Xfinity Series at Kansas.
I think I know who I got.
Who's running the 54? Let's be honest. Who's running the 54? Wait a second. It doesn't even matter. Whoever runs the Chris Bell can run the 54 and it's still going to win. Like again.
Why did that pop up like that? That's not how that was supposed to be.
I think for the Xfinity Series, I've got kind of a weird one. I think Allgaier is going to.
They don't have it.
I think Allgaier is going to win.
He had a good looking car yesterday.
Yeah. I think Allgaier is taking it home. I think he's going to solidify
Allgaier?
himself. Yeah, I think Allgaier is going to take it home.
I don't hate it. I mean, that's definitely not the worst take that's ever been said on this show.
No, I think Hemrick is a for sure. I think he is a for sure front runner though.
Jacob, I'm gonna make you hard. That 8 car, Sam Mayer is gonna win next week.
I don't hate that.
Mine is a little less spicy, but it could be spicy too. He ran very well, and he's due for a win to lock himself in. Harrison Burton, victory lane. Book
Harrison Burton?
Book it.
I don't hate that at all. Harrison gets himself into the Final Four. We all didn't pick the mandatory picks, though. That's what's crazy. None of us picked Collig or Cindric. So,
Collig's
Collig's going to have a championship at the end of the season.
I agree. I think Dinger is going to win the championship.
He's been too good to not.
I think it's Cindy. It's Cindy or Gregson.
Oh,
Cindy or Gregson. That's your
so
winner.
we got 2 for Sam. I don't hate the Sam pick, but I can't get behind Junior yet. Obviously Sam's proven something to Junior, and Junior sees something in him. I don't see it yet.
He's fucking wow. I don't know what has it been the past month and a half. Mayer's been out there. He's been running.
He has.
I think Sam will be good with Tom. He's still a young driver.
Incredibly young.
He's just 19, isn't he?
18.
Oh, he's 18.
He just aged. That's why it took him till halfway through the season to be able to run. Like, he's been sitting there waiting to be 18. Now, the Cup Series. Woo, buddy. Intermediate 1.5s. What order did I picked last? So who picked first last time?
Jacob.
It was me.
So,
do you want me to pick first again?
Yeah.
Okay. Underdog.
Because I have an earth-shattering prediction.
Underdog, Kansas. I'm gonna go with someone who just got recently eliminated. He ran really well today. I think Chris Bell is gonna have a pretty spectacular day at Kansas. I don't think it's gonna be a winning car, but I think he'll be top 10. I think he'll be a contender. As far as a winner, this is a tough one, but I'm going to pick it, and I'm going to go with it. I think Kyle Larson's going to win again. Straight up. It's a mile and a half. He's going to fucking win again. I think Martinsville is going to – I think Chase Elliott has lost his chance to get in. I think Harvick will take him out at Martinsville. I do not think it's over. I don't think it's over.
There's no shot.
I think Kevin Harvick's going to run him through the wall. I think it's going to be another Matt Kenseth situation. I said last week Chase Elliott better win at Texas or he's fucked. My opinion now, he is fucked. So I think Kyle Larson's going to win again. I think it's going to come down to a Martinsville win to get in.
Okay.
I think for the main pick, Cody, move your head. There you go. Chase Elliott. That's your main. That's going to be your winner next week. All right. For underdog, obviously I'm going to go with the 22, Joey. Chase didn't win. I felt like Joey's going to win. Joey's got to win. So go with the 9 and 22.
I love the Harvick talk. It's pretty exciting. For my underdog, I am picking Kyle Busch as the guy. You like that little distraction? You thought I was going to say Harvick, didn't you? No, he won the Bushy McBush race. He's about to run it back at Kansas. If my primary pick doesn't get it, which is a man who isn't going to lose another race for the rest of the season. Chase Elliott is going to sweep the rest of the
I thought you were going to say Kyle Larson.
Chase Elliott wins Kansas and locks himself in. Chase Elliott goes to Martinsville and is going to win. And Chase Elliott, I'm giving them all right here, baby. Chase Elliott's going to go to Phoenix as the defending champion, and he's going to leave Phoenix as the back-to-back NASCAR champion. Chase Elliott, Kansas, Martinsville, Phoenix. Book it right now. Guaranteed it's going to happen.
I think Harvick's going to run him through a fucking wall.
Let Harvick wreck him at Martinsville, and Chase will still win because he wins in my heart every day. Chase Elliott is going to sweep the remaining races in NASCAR.
Harvick,
you know who I think actually is going to win next week?
Kyle Larson.
Bob Keselowski.
Shout out, Bob.
I think Harvick actually made comments about Chase again today.
Yeah. Oh, Chase is living absolutely rent free in Harvick's head. Just rent free.
He said something about him.
He said that Chase needs to move on.
Chase said he was moved on.
Yeah.
Said he was focused on the rest of the season.
I'm telling you, Chase is going to have there's a Kyle Busch. I don't hate Kyle Busch at all at Kansas, but I think that Chase is going to sweep the rest of the season. Chase is in a better position right now in the playoffs than he was last season at this point in the playoffs. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on that fact. Chase Elliott is liable to go out and win any week, anytime. Chase Elliott is liable to win. And I think that Chase performs best when his back's up against the wall, and he's going to have Kyle Larson has Chase up against the wall right now.
But Kyle Larson gets in some sticky situations. So
I think that the battle is going to come down between Kyle Busch and Chase. That's what I'm thinking.
For the final spot or the championship?
I think Blaney is going to make it. I never thought I would say this, but I think that Blaney is going to fucking make it.
How just insane lights out are you going to be if he
makes the
Blaney's in
Final
the
Four?
Champ 4? Yeah.
I'll shit my pants. I did not expect that this season. Like obviously,
I think I said
after
it.
Parv giving you shit before the season started too.
I think early in the season, I think I said that I could see Blaney making it to the championship 4.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Larson is going to take the championship.
That's a bold, and it's crazy. I never thought that I would be like, whoa, that's a bold prediction to think somebody's not going to win. But it's almost wilder to pick somebody not winning the championship right now than picking. Because if I was like, yeah, Kyle Larson's going to win the championship, everybody's just going to shrug their shoulders and be like, yeah. I don't think he wins the championship either.
The more I think about it, the more it's like, I just think something's going to happen to Larson at Phoenix. I think somebody's going to come in and win the championship that we just don't expect.
Driver of the number 9 Napa car.
Joey.
Hey, listen,
Joey.
my final 4, and I'm still sticking. It's still possible. Joey, Chase, Larson, and Busch.
Wait, I have mine.
I think you have Denny instead of
No. I'll cut you off. No. It is Joey, Kurt, Truex, Elliott.
Okay, yeah.
I did not put Denny.
I had Byron in the championship 4, and damn it, he should have been in there.
He would have had he not been eliminated the last round. Byron's a damn good driver.
Yeah, Byron has come true. Another one that I was wrong about.
But I'm all in. I've said it since the night of the championship. Chase Elliott's a back-to-back champion.
I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to make it.
We didn't think he was going to make it last week either, but look at him.
I honestly, when that piece of debris was hanging off his car, I was like, okay, they're going to throw a fucking caution.
And they said it this week. Oh, if there's debris on the track, we've got to get the caution out.
Well, and that's an oval, right? I mean, they have to. And if Chase's bumper had been flapping like that today, they would have black flagged him. But we were at a road course, and you know what? That was a argument from last week. Let's move on and go on and just start celebrating Chase Elliott's championship.
It's not going to happen. I
cannot wait. Listen, I'm calling it right now on this show because we will do a show following the championship race. Yeah. I will be blackout drunk, intoxicated because I will be smashing beers and pouring them over me.
You do know that if Blaney makes it, we are going into that week with hatred towards each other. You know that, right?
That's fine. I hope Chase puts Blaney into the wall.
I fucking hope not, because I would be livid.
Like, you're like Cody. LTC's done. We can't do it anymore.
Fucking over. It pissed me off. Yeah, I think that obviously I thought Chase's chance was today. I just did.
I like that.
Bold prediction.
Brad could win Martinsville. Him and Denny and Joey
and Chase.
Truex.
And Martin. Martin.
Marvelous Martin at Martinsville.
Yeah. I mean, any of those guys could win Martinsville.
If I see Martin Truex win again in person, I'll cry. I'll cry.
There's nothing wrong with Martin, man.
There is.
What? There's
I'm
nothing.
not- I'm not
I
on
don't.
that.
I don't hate the guy.
Respect to him, like respect.
Wait,
to
I
him.
lied.
Exactly.
I've not seen Martin win in person. I lied. It was Denny who won at Richmond.
Oh yeah, but you respect.
No, it was Martin. I lied. It was Martin. Denny won Darlington. I lied. So I did see
Yeah.
Martin win in person. Yeah,
You did.
So,
I can't hate on Martin. He's fine.
Well,
but I'll save that for another day if he wrecks Chase.
so we got our picks. We'll see you
We
at
do.
Kansas. This has been the LTC from East Tennessee. I'm Jacob Kelly Lewis.
I'm Brad Keselowski.
Hey, it's good, Daddy.
See you next time.
See you next
Kansas. The Plains.